I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly cloudy tonight, couple of showers and storms, and lows in the mid-50s. For the weekend, a mix of sun and clouds, still some storms possible, highs in the mid-70s. Only in the 60s Monday, breezy, cooler, and more rain possible. It's 71 right now.
The Todd Albaugh Show.
State Senator Kelda Royce.
The vast majority of people on Medicaid are already working, and it is Medicaid that makes it possible for them to work. People who are disabled or have chronic illnesses and without that health care, they would be out of the workforce. They would have no ability to participate in the economy, and now they can. Medicaid is one of the greatest workforce programs this country has ever built, and they are trying to dismantle it, and with it, they're going to take people's lives and economic security.
The Todd Albaugh Show, weekdays 2 to 4 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. Matt and Air on Air.
Congressman Mark Pocan is here. Are you planning on going out on the road again, having a couple more town halls?
Yes. Eau Claire. Derek and I have been invited by Opportunity Wisconsin, so I'm really looking forward to debating Derek. My guess is it's more likely I will sprout a head full of hair than he will show up. This is important to let people know what's in this bill because there is a very good reason why Republicans are hiding from town halls.
Catch Matt and Air on Air at its new time, weekday mornings 9 to 11 on Civic Media and the Civic Media app. The Dr. Kristen Lyerly Show.
It's Pride Month, and Northeast Wisconsin is blooming with opportunities to celebrate. Dana Johnson with Fox Valley Pride and Mel Davis of Rainbow Alliance.
Broadcasting live statewide from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay. This is Nite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood.
Whatever gets you through the night, it's all right.
And now, a guy who wears a bathing suit in the shower, Pete Schwaba.
Forgot about that one.
I had to do something bath related.
Hey, welcome to Nightlight. I am Pete Schwaba. I'm not going to say I've never worn a bathing suit in the shower, but it's been a few weeks. Great to have you with me. It's Friday night, folks. You made it through the week. How very exciting. And how even more exciting that we get to close our work week together here on Nightlight tonight on this beautiful Friday evening in the state of Wisconsin. Wherever you are joining us from, welcome to Nightlight. Got a really fun show tonight. We are going into the weekend in style, I think. It's supposed to be nice this weekend, at least tomorrow, I think, is supposed to be nice. So we'll get some good weather, some great movies out there, lots to talk about. There's Sydney Sweeney bath soap selling like hotcakes. We've got a local boy made good we'll talk about, and some great guests tonight. Conrad is sitting in the producer's chair. Well, he's producing the show. He's not just sitting here because it's a comfortable chair. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. So yesterday we talked about that text I got from...
Yeah, the wrong number text.
Yes. So today...
Oh, here we go.
Today I got a new text.
From the same person?
No, it was a different number. It was a 415.
I think that's Pittsburgh? No, that's San Francisco.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she said, let's go shopping and have a fun day together.
Oh, yeah.
I said, I think you got the wrong number. She said, I'm Lisa. Are you Nina? And remember, Lisa was the friend.
Oh, they're playing you. This is a scam.
And I said, no, I'm Greg.
Okay, good.
And she said, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Hope you'll forgive this clumsy girl, but it's nice to meet you anyway, Greg. And then I just said, you should seek help.
Wow. That's kind of an escalation.
And then she said, thank you. Thanks for your forgiveness. Do you live in New York? I invite you to coffee to apologize. And I said, no, I live in Australia. And it ended there. So
you probably blew your chance at a threesome there. I mean, you just got so angry so quickly.
Yeah, I escalated with saying you should seek help.
I think that's an escalation. First of all, it's a bot or it's something. It's a machine.
Yeah.
You're not offending anybody. So, that's how they do it. And there's all different kinds of ways. Like, are you still at work? It starts with this conversation. And all right, here's what next time that happens, save it. We'll compare these. And I'll read mine when I was Tristan. And I told that the woman I was depressed because the woman, it's not a woman.
Yeah,
it's whoever it is. But we'll compare and contrast.
Well,
I think it's AI or some kind of Chat GPT or whatever. But yeah, we'll get into all that. But fun show tonight. Despite the fact that Conrad also almost got taken for thousands of dollars, we do have a good show tonight. We're going to talk some sports with our pal Mike Clemens. He'll be here at 6:35. Mike is so much fun to talk to, and we try not to pester him too much, but we love when he comes on the show. At 7:05, my pal Mark Unger, an actor and comedian. He is the founder of the show, creator of the show, Thespian, and Mark has an interesting credit too. Very few times, like Wayne York was on the show last night. Wayne is a friend of mine. He made the popcorn pick of the week. Wayne has like 50 or 60 TV credits. Rarely, when you do a walk-on role, do you have one where everybody remembers the role. And Mark was the guy who locked Joey from Friends in the entertainment center and robbed him blind. That was Mark Unger. He's on the show tonight at 7:05. I didn't bring him on the show to talk about that scene, although maybe I'll bring it up. But Mark had a great take on the end of The Sopranos. He posted it on Facebook, and I thought, I got to have Mark back on the show. He's been here before. But we'll talk about Mark and his opinion on The Sopranos and the way the show ended. Kind of a controversial ending. And then it is a bar band Friday night. Folks, Terry Barr is still on vacation, and she's using all her days, I think. She's going to be out of days when she comes back. You know? Can you hear me?
Yes.
I thought Conrad took a powder. But Terry will be back, I think, next week or the week after. But Rocker's coming back. We had a blast with Rocker last week, and he introduced us to 6 new bands and talked about some really cool events coming up in Madison. So we'll talk to Rocker again at 7:35 for Bar Band Friday night. How about that shot last night by Tyrese Halliburton? I have not watched the NBA in so long, but my brother was in town. I went over and I saw like the last 5 minutes of the game. You know, this kid is from Oshkosh North.
Yeah.
And apparently was not even recruited by the Badgers.
No. It's crazy. That's like his,
So wrong.
I don't know, 5th or 6th clutch shot that he's had.
Just this year.
Yeah, and, you know, at the beginning, I think it was like middle of the year maybe. I forget when it was. But they asked the NBA, like the players, who is the most overrated player in the NBA. And it was a vote for Tyrese Halliburton.
Overrated?
Overrated, yeah.
I'll take him.
And he's proven them wrong.
He just in the playoffs alone, they were showing the highlights last night. That is so cool. So I'll be curious to see what Mike Clemens has to say about that. But that's kind of inexcusable that you let a guy. Did he go to Iowa State or Iowa?
Yeah, he was a Cyclone. Yep, Iowa State.
Unbelievable. So but it was fun. It was fun to see a Wisconsin kid do something in the playoffs. Not just do something, steal game 1 and take home court advantage back to Indianapolis. That was a huge shot.
Yeah, and cool thing, I actually got to watch him play in high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went to see him at Concordia University, where they do it's like a Christmas tournament of like
Okay.
the best teams in Wisconsin.
No, he's about your age, right?
Well, he's a little bit younger. I was out of high school at that time, but
Okay.
yeah, it was Tyler Hero, Tyrese Halliburton, and Jordan McCabe were all playing that.
Wow.
It was really cool.
Nice. Hey, folks, if you have not played already, here something you're going to want to hear this. This is Civic Media's Scotty Summer Text to Win contest. It goes through June 13th. This is a great contest. We've had so much fun with these here at Civic Media. Listen throughout the day for your chances to be a winner at 7 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., and 4 p.m. 4 chances to text in the keyword. Get the keyword. You have to have the app to play, and you just text the keyword in right after you hear it. It's as simple as that, and you are eligible for cash prizes or brewer tickets. What'd you do, Con? Would you take the $100?
No, I'm going for the Brewers
Going for
game.
the Brewers?
Come on.
Because that's worth more. Like those seats.
They're
Cost more than $100.
fantastic seats. Yeah. I enjoyed my time when I went. This
Okay.
year.
Good for you. All right, so that's all you have to do, folks. Text in the keyword at 7 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., and 4 p.m. You're eligible to win the hourly prize, $100 or Brewers tickets. And then you're automatically, every hourly entry that you do makes you eligible for our grand prize trips in the Scotty Summer Text to Win contest. The grand prizes are, get this, a trip to Door County, a summer vacation in Door County or in Baraboo. Both two of the most beautiful places in our state. And we're giving you gas money to get there, too. So you can gun it. Oh, that almost got me in trouble. No, drive the speed limit, folks. But
Drive safely.
If you have a gas guzzler like me, I have one hybrid, one gas guzzler. We're covering gas money. So it's a great thing. Check it out. Good luck, everybody. 4 daily chances to enter now through June 13th. Good luck, everybody. Hope you guys, I hope you win twice. That would be pretty sweet. Do we know more about the Dork County, like how many nights it is?
No, not yet.
All right. And speaking of gas money, I have an old Toyota Land Cruiser, which is kind of a collector's item. It belonged to a very famous director in Hollywood, and I love the car. My wife loves the car. It is a V8. This thing is a hog, man. It's a 99 Land Cruiser. We've taken pretty good care of it since we've owned it. Only had like 60,000 miles on it when I bought it. Anyway, it needed some work done, and it was like the brake line and then some kind of sway bar, and then it needed something or other. $2,300 it cost me. And I've thought about selling it. I know what the high-end Blue Book is, what the low-end Blue Book. I know if I go to trade it in, they're going to go, it's only worth $500. And I'm going to go, no, it's not. Take a hike. So I don't know. I mean, when you just put that much money into your car, do you sell it or do you hold on to it? Because my mechanic, a really good guy, Al McLean at McLean's in Marinette, said, this might be good for 5 years before you need to drop money. I've spent an average of $1,200 a year on this car. It's got 240,000 miles. Never a problem with the engine or any of that kind of stuff. So here's the problem, Con. Do you have checks?
No.
I don't either. I haven't used a check in 4 years.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? This huge bill from my mechanic, they said you might want to bring cash or a check because there's a 3% fee now with debit and credit cards. With a bill like that, it's like $70, whatever it is. So I call my bank, USAA, and they go, all right, we've just approved you to withdraw that amount of money. Just go into any bank. I go into 3 banks in Marinette today, and they're like, we can't give you that much money. I'm like, it's my money. I'm not asking you for a gift. I have my debit card right here. They wouldn't do it. No, we have limits. So supposedly, I was supposed to ask for a bank lobby cash advance. It was very specific wording. So I ended up just getting the money from my dad, and I Venmo'd him. You can Venmo people. Like, it cost me nothing to Venmo that much money to my dad.
Yeah. Venmo's great.
Love it. So anyway, that was a real pain in the ass. But I don't know. I don't know if I should sell or hold on to it now because I just sunk all this money into it, and I do love the car. So there you go. So what else we got, Con? We got Sydney Sweeney sold out of soap.
Yes. Sold out completely, and now it goes for resale value is now like $250.
$250 to be specific.
Yeah.
Just to use soap that supposedly has Sydney Sweeney's bathwater in it, which it doesn't. There's well, come on.
They have a little test tube of just her bathwater, and they put one little drop in every bar.
And she's sitting there soaking while they scoop out all the bathwater and put it in the soap. No, I don't even want to know what men are doing with that bar of soap. But it has nothing to do. They don't care if they smell like Sydney Sweeney. They just want something that ties them to Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, they canceled my order on the 30-pack.
We got to get some.
Yeah,
I would love to smell it and see what it smells like. I'm very curious.
I was trying to get it. I was trying to get it just because of that.
How lonely are men that they are ordering a bar of soap that they don't care about? Hey, Con, we got to get to our some business here. It's the Civic Media Nightlight with Pete Schwaba. Question of the night.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question. Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Hey, I have a question. Questions? This question.
Domanda. Question.
Question.
Questions.
Oh, this one is gift wrapped, ladies and gentlemen. It is National Donut Day. After Christmas and Thanksgiving, this is the day. National Donut Day. What's your favorite kind of donut? Brand or style? Go. Let us know. There's so many to choose from.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Have you ever had a Krispy Kreme right out of the oven? Like,
yeah.
That's pretty.
Those are good.
It's pretty good.
It wouldn't be my favorite, though.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it would be for me either. I like a good cake donut.
Oh.
With good frosting, like a spice donut with frosting or something like that. I'll have to think about that, though.
I already got mine because I don't eat donuts really anymore that much.
What?
I do like a Long John.
Okay.
With cream filling in it.
Oh, really? See,
and chocolate on top. Sprinkles, too.
Sprinkles? All right.
Gotta have sprinkles.
Sprinkles. What are you, 9 years old with the sprinkles?
It makes me feel young when I have sprinkles. Do you get sprinkles on ice cream? Come on.
I guess I would. All right. That's a question of the day. It's National Donut Day, folks. What is your favorite kind of donut, brand or style? Go 855-752-4842. 855-752. No, 855-755-CIVIC. We're coming right back. It's Nightlight with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Here comes my baby. Here she comes now. Walking with a love that's so, so fine. Never to be mine, no matter how I try.
From Hobart to Bay Settlement, 97.9 WGBW.
Looking for food, fun, and live music this summer? Head to Area 509 in Appleton with Caribbean Taste. Every Friday, enjoy a food truck rally from 5 to 8 p.m. with live music from 5:30 to 7:30. Starting June 1st, don't miss the Triple S Market every Sunday, 1 to 5. Sip, shop, and sing with local vendors, open mic, and rotating food trucks. And mark your calendar for June 14th. It's Second Saturday Music with Luminati from 6 to 10 p.m. It's all happening at 1025 North Badger Avenue. Come join the fun.
Turn up the summer vibes at Chula Vista Resort, your playground for summer dreams, water parks, and sun-soaked pools, epic water slides, soaring zip lines, and world-class golf. Dine in the #1 steakhouse in Wisconsin. Chula Vista Resort. Call 1-800-388-4782 or visit chulavistaresort.com.
Chula Vista Resort is one of the top 10 indoor water parks in the USA, with 26 water slides over 1.5 miles long. Find out more at chulavistaresort.com.
Hey, it's John Mino and Jim Schmidt from Mino and the Mayor. Want to stay in the loop with all things Northeast Wisconsin? Sign up for the WGBW weekly newsletter.
Get the latest local stories, updates on the weather, and a special feature from our Mino and the Mayor podcast.
It's your one-stop shop for real news and great conversation in Northeast Wisconsin.
Log on to WGBW.FM today and get signed up.
Real news, great conversation. Sign up today at WGBW.FM/newsletter.
Medicare loses about $60 billion annually to fraud, errors, and abuse. June 2nd through the 8th is Medicare Fraud Prevention Week, focusing on the actions everyone can take to prevent, detect, and report Medicare fraud. Learn more by liking and following Wisconsin Senior Medicare Patrol on Facebook. Then visit our website, smpwi.org. For information and advice, remember, Wisconsin Senior Medicare Patrol.
Being blind doesn't look how others may think.
Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down. I know where to find support.
Learn more at fightingblindness.org, a public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
As Wisconsin is brats on the grill for
Every time I think of you, I feel a shot right through the bulk of blue. It's no problem of mine, but it's a problem I find. Living a life that I can't leave behind.
Hey, Madison folks, what is your favorite summer event in downtown Madison? You've got 4 choices, and you can vote on these choices. I think this sounds like a lot of fun, and they're doing this at WMDX, our affiliate, I guess you'd say, in Madison, part of the network. Art Fair on the Square, Farmers Market, Madison Night Market, concerts on the Square. What is your favorite summer event in downtown Madison? You can vote at WMDX.com. Art Fair on the Square, Farmers Market, Madison Night Market, concerts on the Square. Go to WMDX.com and vote now, please. Or respond to our question of the night. It's National Donut Day. What is your favorite kind of donut? Brand, style, whatever. I think I like, I may have to go like a cinnamon roll or something. A good cinnamon roll with like some frosting.
Are those donuts?
Yeah, I guess you could split hairs and say that's not a donut. I'd go with a cake donut.
A cake donut.
Cake
Okay.
donut, a chocolate cake donut with white icing.
Oh,
that's what I'm going to do.
Nice.
Yeah. I think that's my vote for the night. But let us know what yours is, folks. Always more fun when you guys participate. Check it out. If you're listening on the radio, that's great. If you're listening on the app, that's fantastic. Or if you're watching on the stream, great to have you with us tonight. If you are on the stream or Facebook, give us a like or a follow. We always appreciate getting those. And Mike Clemens is coming up at 6:35 tonight. We're going to talk sports. We're going to talk about the Brewers. Brewers doing well.
I believe that they're the hottest team in baseball right now.
Is that true? Wow.
Yes.
We got some Packers news from Mike. We'll get that. And we're going to talk Sopranos at 7:05, and it's a bar band Friday night. That's coming up at 7:35. So that'll be fun. Sydney Sweeney bathwater is gone. There is none left. So if you guys want some, you're going to have to back order it. It's going to be a whole production. So you'll have to wait before you are able to get clean if you want to do it Sydney Sweeney style. So we've got a phone call. Let's take the phone call, Conrad. Who do we have?
Ollie from the Northwoods.
Ollie, how are you? Happy Friday.
Oh, I'm good. How about you guys?
We're doing swell and even better now that we're hearing from you. What's on your mind?
Okey-doke. Well, first off, cinnamon roll isn't a donut, so you have to
I told you, Pete.
enlarge your
my
choices
donut
there.
network?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I'm going to pick one donut and one other thing too, so we'll be even.
Okay.
My favorite donut is an old-fashioned donut. Now that's like a regular donut, but it's got extra something in it, and it fries up crispier, and it's denser than that.
Okay.
And I like one, either the plain one or Edmonds used to have one that had like a crumbled powder sugar.
Oh,
type
those are good.
topping.
Yeah, I remember those.
And then another thing that I like that I haven't seen for years is a croissant that's deep fried and it's got chocolate on the top. Holiday gas station used to have those, or Cub
Foods.
used to
Okay.
have them.
So
and they're delicious.
you and I are in cahoots then, Ollie, because we both chose something that's a non-donut but still packed with deliciousness.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you so much for the call, Ollie. Have a great night.
Okie doke.
Those
Bye-bye.
are great choices. I do remember the Entmans used to make like a devil's food chocolate donut, chocolate like frosting all around it. It was so good. And I do like a nice like a coffee cake. Coffee cake's not donut either, though, I guess. Like
Coffee cake is
on there and icing. Delicious.
Coffee cake is so good.
Yeah, I guess we're getting off on a tangent here, but let's go to the text line and see what the good people say. What is your favorite kind of donut, style or brand? Tom from New Berlin says Long John with chocolate top and cream-filled center and a small coffee to start my day.
That is a great choice right there.
I think Conrad and Tom need to pal around more because that's exactly what Conrad said. Melissa from Madison says chocolate-covered cake. Melissa's speaking my language. Love a cake donut. Monica from Mount Horeb says Dunkin' Donuts used to have a toasted coconut donut. Oh, yes, I remember that. Toasted coconut is awesome in any form.
Yes.
And she says that was pretty darn good, but they stopped making it. You know what I like, though, at Dunkin' Donuts are the strawberry frosted ones. They're like sort of a raised donut, not a cake.
You know, it's weird. I've never had a Dunkin' Donut.
Seriously?
Actually. No.
Oh. Their
I've
donut
had their
balls are good,
coffee
too.
and their breakfast sandwiches, but never a donut from there.
Yeah. All right. Anna from Madison says, hi, Pete and Conrad. My favorite donut is an iced Bismarck with jelly filling. Yeah, I like one of those once in a while, too.
How do you feel about jelly filling?
Okay, better than cream.
Really?
Can't do cream. I can't do custard in a donut.
Jelly is pretty good to me, too.
Jelly's good. Yeah, I could go with the lemon, too. That's good when they have like a lemon filling or
Oh,
a
yeah.
blueberry filling with a white icing. Get down on it. Fantastic stuff. Madison from Plumbers says Fosdale's Donuts in Stoughton, literally anything they make. Interesting. We should get them on the blower, Conrad, see if they want to do the popcorn pick one of these days.
And bring in donuts.
Fosdale's Donuts. Yeah, they could mail order us some donuts. That doesn't reek of desperation. Ed from Madison says, I love me a cruller. Oh, I forgot about crullers. Those are great with coffee, too.
Yeah.
Tom from New Berlin also says a Kringle is not a donut. bit tasty, Conrad. Let's play 9.
There we go.
There we go.
With
Let's
some
play
donuts
some golf and
and
eat
coffee.
some donuts.
Yes.
That's a nutty night out on the town right there is what that is. All right, folks, it's a Bar Band Friday night. Rocker will be here at 7:35 with new music and great conversation, just like his Max Inc. co-host Terry Barr usually is. She's still on vacation. Hope Terry's having a good time. My pal Mark Unger, actor and creator of the show Thespian, will be here at 7:05 to talk about The Sopranos and their controversial ending. And coming up next, after the news, our pal Mike Clemens, Civic Media Sports Authority, gives us a quick sports rundown. Be great to talk to Mike. Don't go anywhere. We've got a fun Friday here. LFG, baby. It's Nightlight with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
You feel your dreams are dying. Hold tight. You got the music in you.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home of Mino and the Mayor.
Local radio for you and your community. It's Civic Media's mission with stations across Wisconsin. Find your favorites at civicmedia.us.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. The possibility of a deal may be dead. Savannah Tomei Olson has the latest on state budget talks.
Republicans are now officially crafting their own budget after walking out on negotiations with Governor Tony Evers. They've been in talks trying to come to an agreement on tax cuts, a priority for Republicans, and funding things like schools, child care centers, and universities, a priority for the governor. Republican State Senator Mark Bourne, co-chair of the Joint Finance Committee.
Spending really that the governor needs is just more than the state can afford, and it was getting to the point where it was about 3-to-1 compared to the tax cuts that we were looking at.
Wisconsin currently has a record $4.5 billion or so surplus, according to the nonpartisan Wisconsin Policy Forum. Republicans have the majority, so now this budget is essentially in their hands. Democratic State Senator Kelda Roys.
We're going to see a budget that does very little to lower costs for working families. I think we're going to see a budget that fails our kids. We're going to see a budget that refuses to invest in our public universities at a really critical time. We're going to see a budget that turns a blind eye to relief for ordinary Wisconsinites. We're going to see a budget that exacerbates the child care crisis in this state.
Thursday, Republicans added more bonding authority to clean drinking water initiatives and $500,000 to a program to train more physicians. For Civic Media News, I'm Savannah Tomei Olson.
Governor Tony Evers orders the U.S. and Wisconsin flags to be flown at half-staff tomorrow in honor of former Oneida Nation Chairman Gerald Jerry Danforth, who passed away June 1st at the age of 78. Danforth served 2 terms as chairman of the Oneida Nation, first elected in 1999 and again in 2005. Services for Danforth will be held tomorrow in Oneida. I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News. For news anytime, log on to WGBW.FM.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Comedian Sinbad will appear in Tyler Perry's upcoming film, Straw. This may not sound like major news, but it is when you factor in that the comedian suffered a debilitating stroke 5 years ago and was hospitalized for months. The former star of his own show called The Sinbad Show said he is thrilled for the opportunity to be back in front of the camera and said the road back has been difficult. According to the New York Post, the film also stars Sherry Shepherd and Taraji Henson. Director Perry says, "I know it's been really difficult for him, so giving him this opportunity made me feel amazing." The daughter of Tim McGraw and Faith Hill chose Pride Month to come out as queer. 28-year-old Gracie, the oldest of the couple's 3 daughters and a working actress, shared the news in an Instagram post on June 2nd. This is the first time the country music power duo's daughter has opened up about her sexuality. McGraw and Hill have yet to comment on the post, but in the past, Hill has expressed public support for the LGBTQ+ community. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
This report sponsored by the City of Marinette, home of the Queen Marinette Run the River Powerboat Races, June 7th and 8th. More details at fishonmarinette.com.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly cloudy tonight, couple of showers and storms, and lows in the mid-50s. For the weekend, a mix of sun and clouds, still some storms possible, highs in the mid-70s. Only in the 60s Monday, breezy, cooler, and more rain possible. It's 71 right now.
Mark your calendars for heart-pumping, exhilarating action at the 2025 Queen Marinette's Run the River Powerboat Races in Marinette, Wisconsin on June 7th and 8th. The action will be nonstop as these high-octane boats reach speeds of over 105 miles per hour. Races kick off on Saturday and Sunday at 12:30 p.m. and run throughout the day. Free for the whole family, this is the perfect summertime weekend getaway. For more information, head to fishonmarinette.com and click on the events page.
The Maggie Dawn Show.
Michael Negron of the Small Business Majority.
You know, Trump administration thinks that they're doing solid for small business with their policies. And so having business owners out there talking about how, whether it's tariffs, whether it's potential cuts to healthcare, how it's going to hurt their bottom line, how it's going to hurt their consumers or their employees, I do think that will have a real impact. Every time he does something, he gets really bad feedback and he retreats in the face of it.
The Maggie Dawn Show. Weekday afternoons 4 until 6 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. Mino and the Mayor.
On Monday, we'll get our forecast for the week from Brittany Merlot, and we'll be
Schwaba, great to have you with me on this Friday night. You're barreling towards the weekend, folks. Did you see Jameson's text? He said church potato donuts. I thought he was going couch potato. We still got to do something with couch potatoes. Couch potatoes. Get
it is running. It's a promo.
Is it running? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, we got a text from Luke Mathers. I can't wait to find out what kind of donut Luke likes. All right. What is your favorite kind of donut, folks? Brand or style? Go. Let us know. 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Be part of the show, and we'll read your text on the radio. Right now, it is my pleasure to welcome to the show Civic Media Sports Authority and our pal, Mike Clemens. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Pete. Conrad, how you guys doing?
We are doing swell. How are you?
Sitting in the press box.
Nice.
Sunshine, 71 degrees. The roof is open. Brewers about to get started against the San Diego Padres at 7:10. It's the longest homestand of the summer at AmFam Field. The 12 games are going to play the Padres this weekend. Then the Braves come to town. And then next weekend, the Cardinals, who are in second place right now in the NL the division, they're behind the Cubs. Then they're coming here. So Brewers can make some nice headway here, but 5-6 games behind the Cubs right now.
Yeah, but the Cubs are pretty hot too. That's the problem, probably. But if the Brewers keep playing like this, Mike, I got to think they're going to be in great shape.
Well, and I was talking to Craig Kashan, who's on the FanDuel Network, about this, and he said, you know, last year it's write it off. He said you knew that give Craig Counsell a year to figure things out, and then tell the Cubs front office what he really needed, make some adjustments, you know, because he's still a pretty damn good manager, and now he's got things in place. He's also got some healthy guys, and the Cubs are a contender right now.
That's fantastic. So beautiful night out at the ball field, Mike. Just you're living the life, man. That's a great. Do you ever just sit back and go, "I have the best job in the world"?
I do, except when I'm, sending you guys audio cuts at 4:30 in the morning, and I've been up for 21 hours. There's a lot of driving and all that. But no, covering the Brewers, the Packers, the Wisconsin Badgers, the Bucks, there's endless stories. And, I spend most of my time saying, all right, I only got X amount of time. How do I get all these stories in? What are the most important ones that the fans are going to want to know? So that's the best part of it, but I work at it, every day. It's every day, but and you got to build relationships, and you got to, you've got to build some trust there, so that, I'm not going through people's garbage, but I work for fans.
Yeah.
People say, "Oh, so sorry, you're a Brewers fan of that?" No, I work for fans, and I'm trying to find out what's the team doing today, what is in their best interest today to try and win these games. And get this ball club to the next level.
Very nice. Well, we certainly appreciate your time, buddy, and I know how hard you work. So thank you on behalf of all of your fans for working so hard on our behalf. So the Packers just wrapped up OTAs, as did many teams in the NFL. What can you report? Did anything stand out?
Yeah, Jordan Love has thrown a 60-yard bomb. with precision, perfect spirals, perfect rotation, hitting Jaden Reed, number 11, down at the other end of the field. Jordan, in 11-on-11, it's OTAs, it's volunteer, it's helmets and shorts, but nevertheless, there's things you can tell when it's 11-on-11 and they're going full speed against a pretty good Packers defense, and he hits Romeo Dobbs in the corner, and the team celebrating because you know that it's late end of May, early June, and you know they've got some chemistry going. They're in sync, so that looked pretty good. One of the first things I was looking for, Pete, when this session of OTA started this past month was number 32, the running back, Marshawn Lloyd, who they picked up in the third round last year out of USC.
Yeah.
And, you know, you moved on from A.J. Dillon at running back. He had a neck injury, which put him on IR for the rest of the year. He's now a Philadelphia Eagle because you felt like you know how solid Josh Jacobs is as a running back, but he's more of a power back. So they spent that third-round pick on a guy that had speed that they could use for jet sweeps, maybe even returns. And he had one or two different injuries. And just when they finally thought they might get him back for December in the playoffs, then he has an appendicitis attack. So he spent most of last year on IR, and I don't have any data on him. I haven't got a feel for what the kid is. So there we are for the first couple of OTAs, and there he is on the sidelines working out with Christian Watson, who's trying to come back from an ACL. We asked LaFleur about it, and he goes, yeah, look, we saw enough from the kid to know that we're excited. There's a lot of promise there, but no question about it. He's got to figure out now how he's going to make himself available and be more consistent. Apparently, some sort of a hamstring thing. But they said that this running back, Marshawn Lloyd, day after the loss to the Eagles in the playoffs, in the facility, working out, working with the trainers, trying to improve his body the best that he can. So it's not for lack of trying, but this guy's got to figure out a way on how to be able to participate.
Boy, you got to love that. Mike Clemens is my guest. He is our Civic Media Sports Authority and joins us here periodically on Nightlight. He is coming to us live from AmFam Field. Mike, Aaron Rodgers agreed to a one-year deal with the Steelers. We were kind of talking about this a little bit last night. That's a much better situation he's going into in Pittsburgh than he did last year, don't you think?
Probably because Mike Tomlin has been there. You know, I remember when Mike McCarthy got hired in 2006. I think Tomlin got hired like a week later and like was younger than McCarthy by 6 months, and that kind of burned McCarthy because now, you know, McCarthy was excited to go from offensive coordinator of the Saints to a head coach of the Green Bay Packers. Yeah. But, you know, he would have much rather been from Pittsburgh, the head coach of the Steelers. Right. Well, Tomlin has been there. He's never had a losing season. Gone to the Super Bowl, won one. So there he still is. And over the years, Aaron Rodgers has talked about, you know, he appreciates the operation that Mike Tomlin's had running all those years in Pittsburgh. And so after the Jets made Rodgers come in, Aaron Glenn, the new head coach, the former Lions defensive coordinator, brought him in and said, yeah, we just want to let you know that we're moving on. Well, how do you want to release this? And Aaron said, you made me fly all across the country to tell me you didn't want me? I mean, couldn't we done this over the telephone? Well, you know, we just wanted to treat you with respect. So, you know, the Jets had enough.
Yeah.
And I mean, Aaron, a year ago at this time, Pete, remember they had their mandatory minicamp under head coach Robert Saleh, who got left, you know, hanging out to dry in front of the New York media like, where's your quarterback back from the torn Achilles? Well, he's got other plans. He's not here. Are you going to have to find him? I mean, according to the rules, you have to find a guy. Yes, yeah, we'll have to find him. And that's how the Jets started last year. And people thought, well, it's Aaron Rodgers. It's not that big of a deal. It's a big deal. And you know why? Because your teammates need to get in sync with you. Sure, Aaron Rodgers can walk up after, 10 days and be ready to go. But it's the other players around you that need to get used to you and all of your 30 different hand signals at the line of scrimmage and all that. And Rodgers doesn't seem to have learned that. That's one of the things that cost him his time here in Green Bay. Didn't help him with the Jets. And I don't know how those habits change, except he's supposed to have signed today, and he would be available for next week's mandatory minicamp in Pittsburgh. And then, week 1, he goes against his old team, the Jets. And week 8, Sunday night football, NBC, October 26th, It's Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers at home against Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers.
That will be a fun game to watch. I'm sure everybody's marking that one. Mike, before we let you go, that game last night, game 1 of the NBA Finals, I was watching with my brother. I had never heard of Tyrese Halliburton. I haven't really followed the NBA much last couple of years. What a stud this guy is. And I had no idea he was from Oshkosh North High School. Did the Badgers, do you know if they ever tried to recruit him?
Oh, I'm sure they did and looked at him. But whatever the case, he's really come on in the last year and a half.
Oh, yeah.
And then what he's been doing in that series against the Bucks, stealing the ball, taking it down, bam, and scores. And then he did it to the Cavaliers, who were atop the Eastern Conference all year, did it to the Knicks, and he did it again last night. They were down by 15 points in the fourth quarter on the road at OKC against the Thunder. They come back, and now with just seconds left, he gets the ball, drives it down the court, 3, 2, 1, goes off to the right-hand side, bam, from about 18, 20 feet out, hits it, and they go up and win the game with like 0.3 of a second left, 111 to 110. And all of a sudden the Pacers, are up 1-0 in that best-of-7 series. The next game is on Sunday, but, the NBA is always wanting to get as many eyeballs on this thing as they can.
Yeah.
They might have one hell of an entertaining series on their hands for the NBA Finals.
And what a great thing for the NBA with 2 not-so-huge market teams to have an exciting series like that. I loved it last night. After he hit that shot, there was 0.3 left, and one of the announcers said, that's plenty of time for a catch and shoot. I'm like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Mike, we'll let you get back to work. Do you have a favorite donut, brand or style?
Right now, I'm kind of, I was kind of big into the Krispy Kreme. I was going out to cover a game in Virginia years ago, and that's when before Krispy Kreme went coast to coast. Oh, you got to go to. They got this, hot and ready now sign, neon sign, and it was pretty special. But lately, I don't like baked donuts. I like still fried donuts, right?
Okay.
Fried donuts, maybe a little bit of chocolate on there. That's my favorite go-to right now. Maybe you can get that at a Dunkin' or something like that, along with some Joe. But yeah, I like the donuts about 9:00 in the morning on my way to whatever next stadium I'm going to.
Who doesn't? Fantastic. Yeah. Mike, thanks so much, buddy. Have a great time out there at the old ballpark, and keep up the great work. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Pete.
You got it. All right. That's Civic Media Sports Authority, Mike Clemens. I kind of shied away, Conrad, I will say, from this golf stuff. Is there something I just don't understand it?
Well, yeah, they played at Aaron Hills last week. Yeah.
Where is Aaron Hills?
That's a good question.
And which Aaron is it named after?
It's ERIN.
Yeah. That's named after a girl.
It's in Hartford. That's
Wisconsin?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was. I watched a couple minutes of it.
Sweden's Maya Stark leading the way.
Yeah.
With a 7 under.
That's a great score.
Look at me reading golf scores. Here's my thing. Like, I don't really watch hockey either. I was the biggest basketball fan ever. But a game 7 of anything I will watch, even hockey.
Oh, yeah.
Or golf. If it comes down to the last hole, that gets
exciting.
Game
7 in golf is.
Game 7 in golf. Sure. Yeah.
I mean, it's always exciting to see those last moments. And then.
Definitely. Thanks to Mike Clemens. Mike is out. He's out at a baseball game on a gorgeous night. We are going to play, folks, after we do a quick break, we're going to come back and play a clip from Friends that our guest at 7:05, Mark Unger, was on. And Mark is an interesting character because he's kind of a jaded guy. He was a comedian for a long time, kind of a smart ass. And but I always loved it. I drove on the road a couple times. We did a couple gigs together, and I always enjoyed his company. But when I saw him on Friends, I just almost fell off the couch. It was like this very iconic walk-on role on Friends. It was a guest starring role, but it's like one of those scenes everybody remembers because he locked Joey. He tricked Joey into getting in his own entertainment center. He put him in there with the hockey stick and robbed him blind.
Yep.
And Mark's still kind of like, all right. But he's like this really serious actor. So we'll see if he's softened a little bit on that when he gets here at 7:05, and we'll play that scene next and read some of your texts. You are here on a great night, folks, and it is great to have you. It's Nightlight with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
can go wherever, so let's do it now or never, baby. Nothing's ever too far. Glitter in the sky, glitter in our eyes, shining just the way we are. I feel like we're forever every time we get together, but whatever, let's get lost on Mars. You want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo.
Come work with us. Civic Media has a number of great jobs across the state. Open now at civicmedia.us/careers.
Appleton Cigar Company on College Avenue has been serving the community for over 25 years. If you are a cigar aficionado looking for a one-of-a-kind experience, you need to check out Appleton Cigar, which boasts the largest selection of cigars north of Milwaukee with over 706 cigars to choose from in a walk-in humidor. The Cigar Lounge offers an impressive variety of spirits and cocktails that pair perfectly with a premium cigar. For the full experience, come to Appleton Cigar at 415 College Ave, Monday through Saturday, 11:30 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. For more information, go to appletoncigar.com.
Feeling better is about feeling all kinds of things. You want to feel healthy, sure, but you also want to feel heard and understood, valued, even, well, loved. That's what we want too. We're Amplify Health, and we think the best way to care for someone is to care about them. That's why all our treatments include a little empathy. Welcome to healthcare that's all about caring. Welcome to Amplify Health by Bellin. A little empathy changes everything.
Mark your calendars for heart-pumping, exhilarating action at the 2025 Queen Marinette's Run the River Powerboat Races in Marinette, Wisconsin on June 7th and 8th. The action will be nonstop as these high-octane boats reach speeds of over 105 miles per hour. Races kick off on Saturday and Sunday at 12:30 p.m. and run throughout the day. Free for the whole family, this is the perfect summertime weekend getaway. For more information, head to fishonmarinette.com and click on the events page.
Drop what you're doing because Appleton has a whole week of fun just for you. Hey, it's Amanda with another new Wisco 411 for you, brought to you by Area 509 in Appleton. And you can enjoy an entire week of live local musician performances thanks to the 13th annual Appleton Street Music Week. June 9th through 13th from noon till 1. These musicians are donating their time to raise money to help support and elevate the community. And if you want to be involved, go to wgbw.fm and click events.
I'm Dan Schaefer. Let's recombobulate. In discussions over the so-called Big Beautiful Bill backed by Donald Trump that's making its way through Congress, none other than Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson has emerged as the most prominent Republican critic of the bill, saying at a recent Milwaukee Press Club event that it is, quote, not even close to adequate. Johnson has said he wants spending cuts to go even further, including making cuts to Medicaid. But Johnson's position as a critic of this bill makes him especially influential in these negotiations. But let's not forget the last time he was in a similar position. In 2017, he was a critic of the Trump tax cut bill, but what he fought for was a tax break for certain types of businesses, perhaps not coincidentally, businesses owned by his largest donors, Dick and Liz Uline. In 2018 alone, the Ulines received more than $200 million in tax breaks because of this bill. So as the Big Beautiful Bill is negotiated in the Senate, let's not forget this piece of recent history.
Find all of Dan's work at the Recombobulation area.
Simpsons donut clips right now. I can't believe I didn't look at this before the break. Were you able to grab that?
Donuts.
It's Nightlight with Pete Schwaba, folks. Great to have you with me. It's a Friday night version of Nightlight. It is a gorgeous night here in the state of Wisconsin. Hope you're having a great night. Hope you had a great week. We got some decent weather, I guess, this weekend. One good day, one bad day here in northeast Wisconsin. But hopefully you'll take advantage of the weather no matter what, because there's a lot of great movies out there coming out this week. So we can talk about those too, potentially. So, all right, my guest at 7:05 is Mark Unger. We're going to talk about the controversial ending of The Sopranos. I'll be honest, I still don't know how I feel about it. You saw it, right, Con?
Yeah, and it's just, I wanted to see it like actually like live though, you know?
Yeah.
It's different than just streaming.
True.
But I wanted to know what it was like actually witnessing that on network and just being like, wow, that's the end of it.
I think if I had seen it on network TV or HBO, whatever, when it first happened, I would have been like, oh, what? But artistically, I think I like it. I'm really actually kind of on the fence, and I always have been about that ending. I like the risk they took to do it. It's a little unfulfilling, though, but I'm anxious to hear Mark just kind of regurgitate his post from the other day on Facebook, because I think he kind of nailed it. So he'll be here at 7:05, actor Mark Unger. And here's the scene I was talking about when he played the, the guy who was looking at Joey's entertainment unit that they were trying to sell. Joey and Chandler were trying to sell it. And first, I love that Joey asked for $5,000.
It's a great piece.
Oversized entertainment center. And Chandler says, Geppetto?
And then,
$5,000?
when Chandler walks to go get his door open and it falls
He
through.
rips his suit all the time. Yeah, it's great. And Mark is the guy who will be here at 7:05 who is the potential buyer. So let's hear that clip now.
This is the unit for you, my friend. Sturdy construction, tons of storage compartments, some big enough to fit a grown man. What? Oh, yeah. I got in there myself once. My roommate bet me $5 that I couldn't, and then he stuck a board through the handles and locked me in. Yeah. It was funny till I started feeling like I was in a coffin.
No, you can't fit in that thing. That's not deep enough.
Oh, yeah? If I can't, I'll knock $5 off the price of the unit.
All right, you have yourself a deal.
Okay. See? I told ya. Sometimes I come in here just to get away from it. Hey, a nickel!
So I loved when the episode where he builds that is really funny.
Yes.
He's got those Sergio Valente jeans on. It's like, he's talking about how we need a place for the mail. You building a post office? So our question of the night, folks, is what is your favorite kind of donut? Brand or style? We'll accept either one. I say a cake donut, a chocolate cake donut with white frosting. I've always been a sucker for. Conrad said like a jelly or like a Long John with chocolate frosting and a custard filling. Those seem to be quite popular here tonight with the textures. Jameson in Pennsylvania says church potato donuts found in central Pennsylvania. They only come out on Fat Tuesday. No joke. The best things ever is all capped. That's how I know Jameson means business. Church potato donuts. I don't know about that name. Do you want the name potato in donuts?
It sounds too healthy.
Too healthy, too starchy. I believe Jameson, though. They sound delicious. Our pal Luke Mathers here at Civic Media says, my go-to donut is always a raspberry jelly-filled donut. But my favorite donut is a crawler from Greaves Bakery in the Milwaukee area. Okay. That sounds delicious, Luke. I like that, too. I like a blueberry, like blueberry filled with white icing. Also, that gets my motor running donut-wise, folks. All right, we got a phone call. Is this Madison?
Yep.
All right, Madison from Plummer. Hey, buddy.
It's Madison Plummer. Sorry for the confusion.
Oh, that's okay. All right. So is Plummer your town, Madison?
No, I'm a plumber.
You are a plumber. Okay. I always wondered about that because Plummer shows up where the where the city typically is. And I was like, I've never heard of Plummer, Wisconsin, but okay. Thank you for clearing that up. All right, that's awesome. How's it going tonight?
Dandy. Thanks.
All right.
So I have a loophole for the cinnamon roll.
Okay. Love it.
It's called a Persian.
Oh, yeah.
With cinnamon roll frosting.
Yes. I've had one of those.
It's the best.
That is the best. So, yeah, I think we're just going to have to accept loopholes tonight. Tangential donuts. That's a great name actually for a store. And I think any and all are welcome. So where do you get this? Where do you get this donut, Madison?
Oh, well, I guess you can get it from the Quick Trip, but the best ones are obviously from Fosdale's and Stoughton. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. We got your text about that. That's awesome. Was that you that texted that too, right?
Yes, it was.
Fosdell's Donuts. All right, fantastic. Hey, thank you for the call, Madison. Don't be a stranger. It's good to hear your voice, buddy.
You bet.
All right, have a great night. That's Madison Plummer. I didn't even ask him. Is his name Madison or is he a plumber in Madison?
I think his name's Madison.
I think so too.
Or is he
I don't
Madison
want to be
Plummer?
presumptuous. Jameson texts us back and says, "I've got to add Voodoo Donuts in Portland, Oregon." Boy, these guys had donuts all over the country. Jameson is the donut authority. He says the Portland cream. I'm reading that like Treme, the show from New Orleans. The Portland cream is awesome, and yes, the potato donuts are made from potatoes, and you would never know. I'll make some and send them to the show. Big talk, Jameson, but we would love it if you did. Challenge accepted on your part, apparently. That's fantastic. Tom from New Orleans says, Todd, you surrounded. It's called bakery. Tom? All right. Hey, we're coming right back, folks. Intermission is right around the corner, also known as the Civic Media News, and our team will keep you informed and tell you what you need to know. We are coming right back with my pal Mark Unger. It's Civic Media. It's Nightlight with Pete Schwaba.
Denmark, Green Bay's real news and great conversation. A Civic Media radio station.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. Arkansas authorities announcing they've captured the ex-police chief and convicted killer who walked out of an Arkansas state prison dressed as a guard.
After a nearly 2-week-long manhunt, escapee Grant Harden is back in custody. Recently, a specialized Border Patrol unit had been sent in to help find him. Arkansas's Department of Correction says Harden was captured just 1.5 miles away from the prison grounds and that his identity has been confirmed by fingerprints. Harden was serving time for rape and murder before his escape. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Mistakenly deported migrant Kilmar Abrego Garcia now back on U.S. soil. The Trump administration says he'll stand trial in Tennessee for allegedly transporting migrants. Fallout after the war words between Elon Musk and President Trump. On Air Force One this evening, Trump asked if he plans to make up with the billionaire.
I haven't thought about it.
Do you have any plans to contact?
I mean, I hope he does well with Tesla.
Earlier, Trump saying Musk had, quote, lost his mind. This is ABC News.
Your news, conversations, and a whole lot of fun. It's all on your local Civic Media radio station or the Civic Media app.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. Schwaba Foods put foot to pavement today in celebration of Pride Month with the Peak Beyond 35 run through the streets of downtown Green Bay. Joyce Gow, co-chair of the company's Pride Business Resource Group, said the event has special meaning.
And the name Peak Beyond 35 refers to a fear that some folks in the LGBTQ community have that they may not live beyond the age of 35. And so we're here to show them through funding of supportive nonprofits and through putting ourselves through something that's physically challenging, that we believe that they can peak beyond the age of 35.
The Peak Beyond 35 run raised money for the Trevor Project. That's a nonprofit providing crisis support and peer support to LGBTQ+ youth. Schwaba Foods is a global company operating in 40 countries, headquartered in downtown Green Bay. The Oshkosh Farmers Market opens tomorrow morning. Executive Director Michelle Schmid-Schultz says you'll see fresh produce, flowers, meats, baked goods, crafters, entertainment, buskers, and food trucks.
This year I have over, I think, almost 30 food trucks scheduled to vend at various times. Our Indian food truck is going to be there this year. We have a Caribbean taste. We have barbecue. We have smoked foods. We have gelato this year. And, of course, we are the egg roll capital of the world, so we still have our egg roll trucks. But the kombucha truck, we have some mocktails coming this year. So just a lot of new things coming in the food segment this year.
The Oshkosh Farmers Market is downtown Oshkosh, rain or shine, from 8 till 12:30 Saturdays through October. I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News. For news anytime, log on to WGBW.FM.
It's the Brewers and the Padres. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Baseball tonight at AmFam Field in Milwaukee, where the Brewers begin a 3-game series against the San Diego Padres in second place in the NL West behind the Dodgers. Chad Patrick on the mound for Milwaukee. NBA. The Pacers were down by as much as 15 points in the fourth quarter last night in Game 1 of the finals on ESPN.
Halliburton looking. Halliburton driving. Pulls off. Jump shot. It's good! With 0.3 of a second remaining. Tyrese Halliburton does it again!
The Pacers win 111-110 over the Thunder. Game 2 is Sunday night. NFL, Aaron Rodgers has agreed to a 1-year deal to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He has worked with the quarterbacks coach before in Green Bay.
The quarterback coach is actually a guy named Tom Arth. Tom Arth was in the quarterback room with me in 2006 in Green Bay. The first off season I ever did went through the Mike McCarthy quarterback school. It was me and Tom Arth and Tom Clements.
That's Aaron Rodgers with Sports on Mike Clemens.
You can always continue the conversation on social media. Share your thoughts when you find and follow Civic Media on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly cloudy tonight, couple of showers and storms, and lows in the mid-50s. For the weekend, a mix of sun and clouds, still some storms possible, highs in the mid-70s. Only in the 60s Monday, breezy, cooler, and more rain possible. It's 67 right now.
Jay Matnair and Greg Bach.
Coming up on the show, oil and gas industry expert Matt Randolph, also known as Mr. Global, will be here to talk about all things energy in Wisconsin. Don't miss it.
Matnair on Air, weekday mornings 9 to 11. Matnair on Air.
Rick Reed is here, an economics instructor.
Remember the film Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? A driver is riding parallel to him and honking their horn and saying, "You're going the wrong way." And Candy and Steve Martin go, "Ha ha ha, how do they know where we're headed?" Congress and the administration are saying, "This is what we're going to do for our budget." But at the end of the day, the Congressional Budget Office basically said that bill is going to create another $3.8 trillion in debt over the next 10 years.
Matnair on Air, weekday mornings 9 to 11 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. The Todd Albaugh Show.
Positive psychology coach Kira Sabin, it is great to have you back.
I love the idea of self-help, but there's also something called community help. We have become so divided, we've forgotten that our neighbor is really nice and makes great cookies and probably has the same concerns on a daily basis that you do. I think that we think things have changed, and I think we're just have stopped.
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nightlight with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now a guy who doesn't believe in sex after marriage, Pete Schwaba.
Hey, welcome back. We are kicking off Act 2. I am Pete Schwaba. This is Nightlight. So great to have you with me on this Friday night as we head into what should be a beautiful half weekend. And when it sucks or when it rains, you've got movies, folks. Life is good. Great to have you. Conrad is riding shotgun. What did I say at the beginning of the show? You're here.
Yeah, I'm not just sitting. I'm also,
you're working.
Pushing
just
buttons.
Find a comfortable chair. We talked to Mike Clemens in the first hour, got a little update on some sports topics. Boy, that sounded like I don't know anything about sport. We talked about some sports games.
Go team.
Yeah, I love sports. I really do. I just don't talk about them very articulately. We've got a lot of fun still coming up in the show. My pal Mark Unger will be here in just a minute. We're going to talk about the ending, the controversial ending to The Sopranos, which I've been on the fence about, but I think I like. We'll talk about that with Mark in just a few minutes. It is a bar band Friday night. Terry Barr is on vacation, but her pal from Max Inc. Radio, Rocker, will fill in like he did last week, and that will be fun. They always bring great music and sparkling conversation. Always a good time. Our question of the night in honor of National Donut Day is, what is your favorite donut? Style or brand? Go, baby. Tell us what your favorite donut is. There is no right or wrong answer, only yours. I said a chocolate cake donut with white frosting. Conrad said a custard-filled Long John with chocolate frosting.
And sprinkles.
There's a lot going on there. There's a lot.
If I'm doing a donut, I'm doing it right.
It's a very busy donut. But let us know what yours is. 855-752-4842. 855-75-CIVIC. Lots of fun still to come. So be part of the show. Right now, it is my pleasure to welcome a guy I've known for quite a while. We met on the stand-up comedy circuit, and he is also a very respected actor and the creator of the show Thespian. And he's my pal, and he joins us now on the phone, Mark Unger. Hey, buddy.
Powdered jelly.
Powdered jelly? Okay. Oh, we have not heard that yet. Now, is that an East Coast thing, Mark?
What's that?
Is that an East Coast donut?
They don't have those in the Midwest.
Well, the fact that you know what they have here? They have Kringle and these crazy coffee cakes that have like 8,000 calories per bite.
Yeah, and like a brat donut.
Oh, no, now you're talking. It's good to talk to you, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing very well. You're in Baltimore these days, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm from New York, but my family moved here when I was a kid, and then I started my career in Chicago, New York, L.A., and now married and happy and making stuff in Baltimore.
All right. Charm City. I love it. All right, so let's jump right in, Mark. I know I kind of got the sense I was pulling you away from something tonight, but you still wanted to do it, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
You had a great post about The Sopranos, and this is probably, close to 20 years since it's been off the air. People are still talking about it. It's one of the most talked about endings. Give me your overall thoughts, and then I'll share mine.
Well, okay, I remember, 2007, which is a long time ago now.
Yeah.
When it first aired, and I watched it, I had that same feeling that everybody had, like, whoa, what happened? Did my cable go out? Was there something wrong? And I wasn't, like, angry the way some people were, but I was definitely a little, like, perplexed, like,
yeah,
that was weird. That was different. But pretty early on, I came to the realization that, wow, that's freaking brilliant.
Right.
The show ended it ended with a breathing, alive Tony. And whatever happens next, that's all fan theory.
Right.
I mean, you can argue, well, did he die? Did he not die? Did he go on to, get his own gangster podcast? But none of that matters. Right. Because the show ended with him looking up at the door. And that was it. And you sort of have to respect that. But of course, you then start to think, well, is that a cop-out? Should David Chase have, given the audience what some people would consider to be a more satisfying ending? I think it was the most satisfying ending you could possibly have because you get to fill in the blanks. And, look, Tony Soprano's a psychopath. So Tony Soprano, if anyone should die, it should be Tony Soprano, right? He's done horrible, horrible things in his life. But the fact that he didn't, and you can decide for yourself whether or not he did, that becomes like a choose-your-own-adventure kind of thing, which is brilliant. You look at like Mad Men, which is actually my favorite. To me, Sopranos is like a very, very close second. But to me, Mad Men is the most brilliant television of all time. And that ending was great too. And he's doing the yoga thing, and he thinks of the famous Coke commercial, and that's great. But it's not as brilliant as the ending to The Sopranos.
Interesting. I love that you really own this in your post. You called it just that, the most brilliant ending to a series of all time. I think it's the Newhart show when he wakes up and he's in the other show.
That's a good one. That would be in the conversation.
Yeah. But I think it's strange that it's almost an ode to Tony Soprano that David Chase did not kill him off and let us see it. Because you're right. He was a despicable person. I could have been okay either way. But that's almost not as satisfying if you see him die. And I felt like they kind of set up that they might kill him off violently after what he did to Christopher, his own nephew.
Sure.
But it is kind of an ending where the bad guy, in a way, gets away with it, even though, like you say in your post, you really don't think he does. Most likely he died immediately after, in front of his family.
Well, you know what? To say most likely, that's something that I came to kind of, I've watched the show a million times. and I happen to be, to me, it's like comfort food, which is crazy that a show about psychotic mafia guys would be my comfort show, but it is.
Yeah, you got some issues. Yeah, that's all right.
I do. I have got tons of issues. But, I was watching it, and I happened to watch it that morning, and I noticed for the first time the opening shot.
Yeah.
It's Tony, he's on the cot. They've gone to the mattresses or whatever, and he's on his cot, and his eyes are closed, and it's a tight shot, a pretty tight close-up, and he's on a pillow that very much resembles the pillow that you would have in a casket. And, then his eyes open and the episode begins. But that opening shot could easily be Tony Soprano in a casket. And when I thought about that, and then I watched the episode, and then I watched the ending, as filmmakers, as storytellers, the idea of bookending an episode visually, is really important. And if you add that extra shot that we don't get to see, it opens with Tony Soprano looking like he might be in a casket, and could conceivably end with him actually being in a casket. So I came to the conclusion that is, how can I say this? That is the ending that might have been.
Mm-hmm.
Because the ending is very definitive. People say, well, I don't know what the ending was. No, the ending is definitive. The ending is a guy with his family eating onion rings and looking up at a door when the bells ring. That's the ending of the show. Everything else after that is speculation, right?
Yeah.
But if you play that game, I think the idea that David Chase started with that opening shot is, again, part of his brilliance.
It's interesting. Mark Unger is my guest. He is an actor and a comedian. Mark, so I hear what you're saying. I almost think, though, going to black is just, and I'm not breaking ground here, this was the theory that he just got killed right there, and that's why it went to black. My issue with it is Don't Stop Believin'. Love the song under the right circumstances. I thought that was a strange choice, though.
Oh, I think that when David Chase decided that was going to be, and he has said this in interviews, that people on the crew are like, "What are you, crazy?" but the lyrics are perfect. The movie never ends; it goes on and on and on and on. And what that does is it gives fans of the show this perfect, absolutely perfect ending, because you get to decide what happens next. When does that ever happen? I mean, Breaking Bad, he dies.
Right.
We all saw that coming. He dies. Of course he dies. But Sopranos, you have no idea what happens. Does Meadow walk through that door and they sit down and they eat their dinner, and eventually Tony Soprano either dies that day or another day, and Meadow takes over the family, or who knows?
Or did she catch a stray bullet? I mean, you don't.
Right.
I can see both sides of the argument. Is it a cop out? Kind of, but not really. It's also kind of brilliant. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those great arguments.
I don't see the cop out argument, honestly, at all, because of all the pieces that were put into place. You mentioned, Black. Well, Bobby Alcala, he talks about that, like, you don't hear it coming or something. And then there's that scene with Meadow and Tony and Anthony Jr. Where they're talking about the Robert Frost poem and black versus white. So there's all these like hints that all that does is it just makes it literature. It allows us to do things you don't get to do at the end of other shows.
Right.
Which is have a radio show and talk about this stuff, and talk about it almost 20 years later.
20 years later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's fun. In sometimes you can, like, I cherry pick the stuff off social media when someone has an interesting take. Like, I'm going to say something too I know you're going to disagree with, and I'm anxious to hear what you say. And there's no, again, I rewatched The Sopranos like 2 years ago for the second time. I didn't think it held up as well.
Why?
I don't know. It just seemed dated. I don't know if it was the mafia stuff. I mean, I've read a ton of mob books. I've seen a ton of mob movies, and maybe it's just that I thought I like the mob stuff, but when Tony's mother or sister are on screen, I want to pull my hair out, and that's part of this. That's part of his drama and his life. I get that. I just didn't find it as interesting, and I can't really put my finger on it. But those are a couple things.
Well, the one thing that I would say is I think the last season, I don't think it lived up to previous seasons. I think that, I did like the, the stuff when he's in the hospital and, he's in a coma and he's dreaming. And I thought that stuff was interesting. But I thought the Vito Spatafor, is that his last name? When he, we find out that he's gay and he has to go on the lam, and he's up in New Hampshire or wherever he was, and there's the Johnny cakes and all that stuff. I thought that was kind of dragged out and unnecessary, but mostly because I thought the actor, clearly the guy hit the jackpot, but I thought the actor wasn't strong enough to carry a lead role.
Interesting. Mark, let's pause right there. We'll just keep you for a couple more minutes if that's okay. We got a really short break here. We'll be right back with more Soprano talk and talk about Mark's show Thespian. That's coming up next on Nightlight with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Someone's living for her love. And I love her. I love her.
From Denmark to De Pere, this is 97.9 WGBW.
Mark your calendars for heart-pumping, exhilarating action at the 2025 Queen Marinette's Run the River Powerboat Races in Marinette, Wisconsin on June 7th and 8th. The action will be nonstop as these high-octane boats reach speeds of over 105 miles per hour. Races kick off on Saturday and Sunday at 12:30 p.m. and run throughout the day. Free for the whole family, this is the perfect summertime weekend getaway. For more information, head to fishonmarinette.com and click on the events page.
Medicare loses about $60 billion annually to fraud, errors, and abuse. June 2nd through the 8th is Medicare Fraud Prevention Week, focusing on the actions everyone can take to prevent, detect, and report Medicare fraud. Learn more by liking and following Wisconsin Senior Medicare Patrol on Facebook. Then visit our website, smpwi.org. For information and advice, remember, Wisconsin Senior Medicare Patrol.
It's June Dairy Month, and though more than 5 million people call Wisconsin home, we share our state with close to 1.5 million cows. Those beautiful animals. Okay, I grew up on a dairy farm outside of Green Bay. They've been here since before we became a state. Can you answer this? Most of our cow's milk currently makes which product? Is it butter, cheese, or ice cream? The answer coming up. Wisconsin's first official milk plant. 1894 in the Waupun area of Fond du Lac County. Fast forward more than 120 years, now farmer-owned with a second location in the Outagamie County village of Black Creek, the Saputo plant is even featured on History Channel's Modern Marvels for its award-winning cheese making. So did you guess? Most of our cow's milk, 90% of it currently makes cheese. Gouda for you. Celebrating our dairy farmers with this slice of Wisconsin. I'm Terry Barr for the Civic Media Radio Network.
Mommy, how come I can't sit in the front seat?
Because I love you and you're just not.
Welcome back to Nightlight. I'm Pete Schwaba. It is a bar band Friday night. We've got new music coming your way at 7:35. Compliments of Max Inc. Radio and Rocker, who will be filling in for Terry Barr tonight. Right now, we have a few more minutes with our pal Mark Unger. He is an actor and creator of the show Thespian. His acting credits, like you just heard before, include Friends, and he is a lover of The Sopranos, as most people are. Mark, so here's what I thought.
I gotta say,
yeah,
and this is so nostalgic for me. I just heard Fond du Lac County, and it brought me back to so many gigs I did a million years ago, and just hearing Wisconsin and cheese and Pete Schwaba.
Yeah,
Green
man.
Bay, this is a privilege for
You
me.
need to come back. We need to set up a
I do.
one-nighter for old time's sake.
That would be
but,
great.
but I'll open it and you can close that sucker. I want no part of that. So, all right. So, Mark, one of the things I really liked, I liked the way the storylines between Tony and Christopher happened, because that struck me as being so realistic, is how these bonds, it's all about family and omerta and all that. But at the end of the day, they're just trying to survive. And I love how that relationship ended.
Well, I think that's one of the brilliant things about the show is, yes, it's about the mob life, but it's also about, on some level, and this is going to sound a little twisted, the way East Coast families communicate with each other. Like, I grew up on the East Coast, so that's what I know. But just, yeah, I mean, I think you're right. It's about family, thematically, it's really dense. You said something earlier about, earlier that season when Tony kills Chris, and somehow that's supposed to, sort of give license for Tony to also be killed. But you have to remember, Chris was also a psychopath.
Oh, yeah.
All of these every one of these characters were they were not just like kind of bad.
Right.
They were absolute psychopaths.
Right.
But yet we cared about them, and we bought in to the family dynamic. We cared, what school Meadow was going to get into. I mean, how do you write more brilliantly than that?
Well, and that's to me, it was those moments where Christopher was so normal at times, but then you knew with this side of him, and that part of it they pulled off beautifully. No question about that.
It's why I think The Sopranos is so much better than a show like Breaking Bad. And somebody else could argue, no, you're wrong, you're stupid, you have no idea. But in my opinion, Breaking Bad was sort of cookie cutter, meaning that you've got this guy who he's good. And then in season 2, he's not as good. And in season 3, he's even not as good. And it was like this very sort of linear path downward. Whereas The Sopranos was messy and complicated, and you cared, but you weren't sure why you cared, like from the beginning. You didn't have to have a moment like, I'm the guy who knocks. That's Breaking Bad.
Right.
But you don't need that scene.
It's funny too. Like I would have been, and I didn't. It's one of those shows where I don't know if I liked any of the characters. I liked watching them. I found them interesting, and that's all I need. But if they would have blown Tony's head off at the end, I would have been okay with that too. I would have been like, oh, that was interesting. You know what I mean? So I kind of liked that they left it open. Mark, we have a couple minutes. Tell us about Thespian.
Well, Thespian is a show that my wife and I created. I live in Baltimore, and the first episode of the series, basically I find myself back in Baltimore living, and this is autobiographical, the first episode, living across the street from the apartment that I had left 25 years earlier to start my career. In the show, my character moved to New York, but my truth is I left that apartment to move to Chicago, and that's when I met guys like you. And so the first episode is, this guy, he's married, he's back in Baltimore, living across the street, and, rather than blow his brains out, he decides to go back to his first passion. He's a comedian.
Yeah.
He goes back to his first passion, which is, legitimate acting, straight acting, whatever word you want to use, or phrase you want to use.
Right.
And so the story is about Adam at 50 years old reinventing himself as a serious actor. And it's really funny. It's poignant. It's what I think, and the reviews that we've gotten and what people have said to me, it really resonates, particularly with people that are, if you're 20, you might laugh at some stuff, but you're not going to really get it.
Right.
But if you're like 35, 40 plus, themes of remaining relevant as you age, family, death, and just it's a really good show, and it's really funny, and everybody should watch it.
It's great. I could not agree more. And yeah, keep up the great work, buddy. This was fun. Thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun, man. Thanks for having me.
Pick another show and say something that's really cool about it. We'll do it again.
That sounds great.
Okay. Have a great night, Mark. Thanks.
Take care, man.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
you too. That's Mark Unger. Ladies and gentlemen, check out Thespian. Just Google Mark Unger Thespian. Great show. I remember watching the first season. I'll have to see where they're at now and catch up, but it's very well done. All right. It is a Bar Band Friday night. After the news at the bottom of the hour, Rocker will be here to tell us some really cool stuff about music that you need to know. All the new music I find is from MaxSync Radio, and it's excellent. Amanda Nimmer on the social media says Persian donuts. That's another one for Persian donuts. I think I have to revisit. I mean, I like Persian donuts. Michael.
I think I've tried one.
You've never, I bet you have. They call them different things, I think.
I don't know all the donut names. I feel like
you got
I know Long John's though.
A lot of Googling to do. Michael from Tosa says air fryer donuts, like beignets, maybe. Okay, or the Krispy Kreme. No, those weren't air fried though. All right, we'll get into this. We've got some more text to read. What's your favorite donut, folks? Style or brand? Let us know. That's our Nightlight question of the night when we come back. Rocker from MaxSync Radio will be here with some new tunes. It's Pete Schwaba and Nightlight on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Love me, you hate me, you know me, and then you can figure out the bag I'm in.
This is the talk of Green Bay, WGBW. Enjoying this local program? Find the complete Civic Media lineup at civicmedia.us or the Civic Media app.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. Arkansas authorities announcing they've captured the ex-police chief and convicted killer who walked out of an Arkansas state prison dressed as a guard.
After a nearly 2-week-long manhunt, escapee Grant Harden is back in custody. Recently, a specialized Border Patrol unit had been sent in to help find him. Arkansas's Department of Corrections says Harden was captured just 1.5 miles away from the prison grounds and that his identity has been confirmed by fingerprints. Harden was serving time for rape and murder before his escape. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Mistakenly deported migrant Kilmar Abrego Garcia now back on U.S. soil. The Trump administration says he'll stand trial in Tennessee for allegedly transporting migrants. Fallout after the war words between Elon Musk and President Trump. On Air Force One this evening, Trump asked if he plans to make up with the billionaire.
I haven't thought about it.
Do you have any plans to contact?
I mean, I hope he does well with Tesla.
Earlier, Trump saying Musk had, quote, lost his mind. This is ABC News.
Hey, Rocker, can you hear me? Yeah, the audio is not coming through StreamYard. I do not hear you. So how about I just give you a call and we'll do it over the phone today.
To a one-year deal to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He has worked with the quarterbacks coach before in Green Bay.
The quarterback coach is actually a guy named Tom Arth. Tom Arth was in the quarterback room with me in 2006 in Green Bay. The first off season I ever did went through the Mike McCarthy quarterback school. It was me and Tom Arth and Tom Clements.
That's Aaron Rodgers with Sports on Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Actress Mia Sara is back after a 14-year hiatus. You might know her as Sloane Peterson from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Yahoo Entertainment reports she was back on the red carpet at the premiere of The Life of Chuck, a sci-fi fantasy based on a Stephen King novel. Sara was last seen on the big screen in 2011 in Dorothy and the Witches of Oz. Sara says she is not officially out of retirement, but will always work if director Mike Flanagan asks her. I feel the same way. Here's some cool news on the heels of a really good documentary about Sly and the Family Stone. The Hulu documentary Sly Lives was insightful and a really fun watch. Now, 60 years after a concert recording.
All right, you can go ahead.
On the next Nightlight, I welcome from the show Young Sheldon, actor Lance Barber. And we'll talk about the amazing career and life of Michael J. Fox. We are going to light it like it's Monday. 15th on High Moon Records. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
This is your local Civic Media radio station. Want to hear even more? Anytime? Find all of it at civicmedia.us.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly cloudy tonight, couple of showers and storms, and lows in the mid-50s. For the weekend, a mix of sun and clouds, still some storms possible, highs in the mid-70s. Only in the 60s Monday, breezy, cooler, and more rain possible. Currently, it's 66.
Mino and the Mayor.
DeLorean Walls in the house. Y'all have been such a powerful platform for so many, including myself, that's bringing so much awareness. And just because the last couple of times I've been on the show, so many people have been asking, how can we help serve? And if we can get that normal, our community is going to flourish even further.
Mino and the Mayor, weekday mornings 6 till 9 on 97.9 WGBW and 98.3 and 96.5 WISS and the Civic Media app.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Todd Alba.
Hey, everybody, join us.
Time to check out original music with Bar Band Friday on Nightlight. Now, your host, Pete Schwaba, and special guest, Terry Barr.
Welcome back to Nightlight and a Bar Band Friday night. Very well said, Mr. Michaels. As many of you know, Terry Barr is on vacation, a very well-earned and deserved vacation. She will be back. Will she be back next week, Conrad? Or the week after? She was unsure, too. I just hope she comes back.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. But in the meantime, we are in great hands because our pal and Terry's co-host at Max Inc. Radio, Rocker, is joining us in Terry's absence, which is always fun, too. Hey, buddy.
What's happening, Pete? Thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you for doing this. I'm so glad we didn't have to take a break from our Bar Band Fridays while Terry was gone. So you just stepped right in, and it's fantastic. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great, man. How are you guys doing?
We're doing very well. It's Friday. We're excited about that. Your week is just starting, though, because you have this great show called Max Inc. Radio, which is a 6-hour dealio on Saturday night, and that takes some serious planning, doesn't it?
It does. We spend a lot of time each week planning the show, and 6 hours of radio. At least we get to spin a lot of music, Wisconsin-made music, so that takes up some of the time where we don't have to talk the entire time. But we are 6 p.m. to midnight on Saturday nights on the Civic Media Radio Network, and we repeat Sunday night, 6 p.m. to midnight. So if you miss Saturday, you can always pick up Sunday. And find us at civicmedia.us/Max Inc. Radio, MAXINK Radio. Tomorrow night, Wisconsin-made music, interviews, and live in the lair. We have cannabis DNP, Jesse Christensen. He got his doctorate degree in studying cannabis and THC and now teaches at the university. So, rather than sometimes always having like dispensary and retail people talking about their products, we're going to actually have somebody who has a doctorate degree. Wow. And we're going to check this out and ask them all the hard questions, right? Wow. Mary Rose Eckberg, she's with Make Music Madison. That's June 21st is Make Music Madison. And that's a citywide festival. The city here, and there's some, they happen around Wisconsin, but Madison is a real big one. And there's probably 600 gigs. They happen all over the city, and Make Music Madison actually pays for the permits so that anybody can have a stage anywhere from like 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Wow.
in Madison. So we get to talk to her about what's going on. Yeah, it's a pretty crazy event. That's Make Music Madison, and that happens June 21st. Around the world, actually, it's a world festival. Live in the Lair, we have the Red the Red Door Duo.
Yeah.
Got to get those D's in line there. And they're just an amazing string players and a duet that sing together. I think it's going to be a brilliant live performance. Red Door Duo is a singer-songwriter, international fingerstyle guitar champion, Helen Avakian, and she's joining forces with Dave Irwin, an acclaimed jazz, bluegrass, and Brazilian guitarist and vocalist. So I got a little clip that we can play and hear what Red Door Duo is like. This song is called I'm Coming Home.
All right.
Sunshine through the window, I can smell the pines. Road's bringing me closer, I'm already there in my mind. Not in any hurry, I'm enjoying the ride. Familiar song on the radio, taking me back in time. I'm coming home, that's where I wanna be. I'm coming home, coming home, coming home.
Dude, I love acoustic guitars and strings and all that. That's going to be a great Live in the Lair tomorrow.
And they're also going to be breaking out, I think she said, banjo, mandolin.
Oh, man. Love it.
All kinds of crazy instruments. So we're going to have our hands full on the mixing board, that's for sure.
That's great. All right, that's tomorrow night on Live in the Lair on Mexic Radio. You can hear the Red Door Duo. Great stuff, Rocker. And then I'm sure you're excited to tell us the next thing on your list, the Dane County Emergency Management. This is pretty cool, and this is just this is Sunday. So please tell us about this.
Sunday, June 8th, coming up, it's the Dane County Emergency Management Cardiac Arrest Survivor Celebration.
Wow.
And I happen to be one of the survivors,
Yeah.
so I'm going to be going to Warner Park's Duck Pond for the Mallards game, and I get to fulfill something on my bucket list. I get to throw out the first pitch in the game.
Very cool.
And then I get to tell my story and talk about the importance of CPR training and portable AED units. So it'll be pretty cool, and I actually will get to meet the first responders who saved my life.
Wow!
So it's a pretty neat event. It all happens at the Mallards game coming up this Sunday at Warner Park in Madison.
That is going to be outstanding. Do you now? All right. So, are you ready for the pitch, Rocker? Because a lot of people do this, and they haven't thrown in like years, and it goes all over the place. Are you ready for the pitch?
Oh, I'm ready for it.
Okay.
I have a dog, and I was a pitcher when I was a kid, so
sweet.
I should have no problem. And, I've seen a couple of the other former presidents throw some pitches, and they didn't even make home plate, so I'm not going to worry about it.
Okay. I have faith in you. All right. Well, that's a great event. So I'm excited for you. Are you going to have any video shot or anything you're going to play on your show next week from that? That's a really special event.
Oh, I didn't plan on it. Hopefully they'll be taking some, press type stuff at the ballpark.
Well, have a great time. That sounds
it's going to be fun.
Well deserved.
Looking forward
very
to
cool. All right, cool. So tell us about Super Tanker.
Super Tanker is this great rock band from here in Madison, and it actually features the guitarist is a writer for the Todd Alba show here on Civic Media. And they're just a great band, and this is a great song. And they'll be playing Thursday, June 12th at the High Noon Saloons for the Summer Patio Series. So that starts at like 5:30 at night, right?
Yeah.
And it's out on the patio. It's just, when there's gorgeous weather, it's an amazing show. Here is Super Tanker. This song is Idol. It's called Internet Declaration of Love, and it's about going on and saying everything on Facebook. Let's hear it.
That's Madison's own super tanker. Compliments of Rocker. That is great. And I've got my own theories about people that say way too much on social media. So that's a great song.
Go on, get it out there.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so Rocker is my guest. He is one of the co-hosts of Max Inc. Radio. He is filling in for Terry Barr tonight and bringing us new music like we do here every Friday for Bar Band Friday night. So, all right, so who's next, Rocker? You want to talk about the True North Music and Food Festival?
Yeah, they just announced this True North Music and Food Festival, and it's perfect because it's also at the Duck Pond in Warner Park in Madison. It's coming up Saturday, September 27th, so it's a ways out, but it's a brand new festival. $2 from each of the tickets goes to benefit the Deus Foundation, which is for abused women. And it's going to feature Pokey Lafarge, Mama Digdown's Brass Band, the People Brothers Band, Spectaculous, and Darren Sterud of the New Orleans Tribute Band. So it's going to be pretty cool. You can get more information at truenorthfest.com. So the north side of Madison, we're coming in with a new festival.
Yeah, not that Madison needs another festival, but that's outstanding. I love
That's
that.
probably why they had to put it at September 27th. So it's a ways out. People can get more information about that festival. And going back to the patio at the High Noon Saloon, Friday the 13th, that evil day at Dogtown Hollow, they're going to be playing on the Summer Patio Series at the High Noon Saloon. They're Roots Rock Americana from Madison. They're also going to be playing July 13th at Art Fair on the Square here in Madison. And July 26th at Woodfest, they'll be playing the Sugar Maple Stage. So I'd bring in a little clip of Dogtown Hollow. This song is from their new album, Rivers, Roads, and Bridges. This is Roll, Roll, Roll.
All right.
I grew up on that river, climbed up that old hill. Well, people said, son, you don't know, but someday you will. Now life down on the river, as tough as it is sweet. People down that river, some of the best you'll ever meet. And they're gonna roll, 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 just roll right down that stream. You gotta roll, 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 living your own dream. You're gonna roll, 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 spinning like a paddle wheel. You're gonna roll, roll, roll. The good life is what you feel. And I've walked across this country, from the deserts to the sea. Yeah, one thing that I've found is love will set you free. And as you go out wandering, will be just who you are. Takes a bit of courage, but that'll take you far as you roll.
Boy, I bet they're a fun live band.
Yeah, Dogtown Hollow.
Yeah.
Really good songs, really good album, Rivers, Roads, and Bridges. It's their latest album. Just came out, I think, February.
I love
Dogtown Hollow.
That's great.
Check them out online.
All right, very cool. Oh, we're jamming through this list, dude. Okay, so then next, Rocker's all about business. I love this, man. I love getting a little sampling like this. This is so cool. Red Door Duo is on the show tomorrow night. They'll be live in the Lair, and we've got who's next, Rocker? Who do you want to do next here?
Jenny Lupine and Jamie Poster. She is a Nebraska native. She was a physical therapist and gymnast coach, but needed an outlet with her music and voice. And she's a singer-songwriter, teamed up with guitarist Jamie Poster. You might know him from rock bands like Rapscallion and Faces for Radio. And tonight, June 6th, they're at the Sip and Shop in New Glarus. And they'll also be at the Missouri Tavern on Highway 12 here in Madison on June 11th at 6 p.m. That's a great place to go. And then June 14th at the Beer Rock in North Sherman Plaza. That's in Madison as well.
Wow.
And we have a clip. This is Jenny Lupine. This is called Angels Go to War.
Love it.
Just give it 2 seconds because we can go out on this actually. So.
Okay, we'll go to break on this song and we'll come back with Rocker from Max Inc. Radio on Bar Band Friday night.
Money, people, and dreams. Through your eyes, what's this life supposed to bring? Will you ever be happy or love said, angels be with me today. And in the nighttime, I need you even more. Angels watch over me, my heart has grown cold. Now my angel goes to war.
Local news, weather, and sports on air and streaming on the Civic Media app. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
Mark your calendars for heart-pumping, exhilarating action at the 2025 Queen Marinette's Run the River Powerboat Races in Marinette, Wisconsin on June 7th and 8th. The action will be nonstop as these high-octane boats reach speeds of over 105 miles per hour. Races kick off on Saturday and Sunday at 12:30 p.m. and run throughout the day. Free for the whole family, this is the perfect summertime weekend getaway. For more information, head to fishonmarinette.com and click on the events page.
Summer, summer, summer.
It's time for Civic Media's Scotty Summer Text to Win contest right here on this local Civic Media radio station. We want to hook you up with $100 cash, Milwaukee Brewers club level tickets, and the chance to win a summer getaway to the Wisconsin Dells area or an escape to Door County. Download the free Civic Media app in the Google Play or App Store. Then listen in for the keywords during the 7 and 11 a.m. hour and 2 and 4 p.m. hour. Text in the keyword and get set to win. It's Civic Media's Scotty Summer.
The annual Alloway Fest Picnic and Car Show is back. Hey, it's Amanda with another new Wisco 411 for you, brought to you by Area 509 in Appleton. And the 40th annual fest is happening this upcoming Sunday from 10 till 3 p.m. There'll be food and refreshments, face painting, bounce houses, kids games, and the new Zoo's Zoomobile. You say that 10 times fast. There's so much going on, I can't even list it all. Go to WGBW.FM and click events.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Wisconsin. This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
An unsuspecting driver at a Milwaukee barbershop.
I got an apprentice here shadowing me. I'm gonna put this hot towel on, man. About a good 3 minutes, all right?
The apprentice is Donald Driver.
So when you come here, you drive?
Yes.
Your car got seatbelts?
Yeah.
You wear them?
No.
Okay, but why not?
I don't want to.
But do you know you can get a ticket for that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you a ticket. Bet you wish you buckle up now.
Oh my God.
Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Take it, click it. There we go. Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways. Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
The Todd Albaugh Show.
We are not perfect here at Civic Media. Far be it. Certainly not perfect at this show. But one thing I can assure you of, our owner that I can see right through this glass right now, Sage Weil, has never once told me what to say and encourages us to speak the truth. And that's why, above all else, I'm proud to work for this company. And along with my colleagues, we will bring you what's really happening out there. And if we get it wrong along the way, we'll admit to that and correct ourselves as well.
Catch the Todd Albaugh Show at its new time, weekdays 2 to 4 on Civic Media and the
Welcome back to Nightlight, folks. I am Pete Schwaba. Monday night on the show, actor Lance Barber, who is from the show Young Sheldon, will join us Monday night, and we'll talk about the life of Michael J. Fox. Our question tonight was, what is your favorite donut style or brand? We've got some great responses. I'll read the last couple texts here, and we will get back to Bar Band Friday night. Lori from Hayward says, hey, Pete, I hope you get this in time. My favorite donut is not one that I actually ate, but rather one that I bought for my daughter when she was little. It was a raised donut with a chocolate glazed topping, and the donut itself was as big as a 9 or 10 in dinner plate. The look in her eyes and on her face was priceless. It took her both hands to hold it up for the photo before she chowed down. The donut came from the bakery at the Co-op grocery store in Hayward, which unfortunately closed years ago. Sorry about that, Lori. I'll be in trouble if I tell you how long ago it was because my daughter would not want me to tell her age on the air, but she is now a grandmother herself. Lori from Hayward. Yeah, you don't eat as many donuts when you get older, do you, Lori? Steady Eddie says, Pete, favorite morning donut? 2 or 3 big fat chocolate cake donuts with tons of chocolate frosting. Oh, and Pete, I make sure my donuts have some chopped peanuts. Oh, there you go. There you go, Conrad, the chopped peanuts.
Still don't sprinkles.
I'll take those over sprinkles. I'm sorry. He says, because I'm trying to eat healthy. Steady Eddie, sure you are. Michael from Tosa says they are made. He's talking about the air fryer donuts using Pillsbury biscuits, punch out a hole in the middle, and then done. Based with melted butters, then dunk in a sugar cinnamon mix. Oh my God, I'm getting hungry. You can, he says, you can also air fry the middles to make the donut holes. Very nice. Aunt Carla checks in, says maple frosting with bacon on a Long John. I'll take that. Thank you, Aunt Carla. Good to see you again. PJ on the stream says, I worked at a friend's family bakery when I was 19, so I was able to consume all types and styles of donuts. My favorites are jelly or custard filled. Folks, the message of this show, just eat as many donuts as you possibly can, preferably while you're listening to Nightlight. Thank you for all the text tonight, folks. Thank you to Mark Unger and Mike Clemens. We've got a few more minutes with our pal Rocker here, who is courageously filling in for Terry Barr while she's on vacation on Bar Band Friday night. Rocker, do you have a favorite donut?
I would have to say the chocolate-covered, custard-filled donut.
Ooh, that's a big one tonight. You joined Conrad.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're popular.
He knows music, folks, and he knows donuts. All right, so where do we leave off here?
You know what? I wanted to talk about the Atwood Music Hall.
Oh, please.
Have you heard of that yet?
I just heard of it, not. But please tell us.
Atwood Music Hall is Madison's newest live music venue, and it's an 800-seat kind of theater-type venue. It'll be opening on Atwood Avenue, and it's by the same owner of the Burr Oak here in Madison. Their grand opening is going to be Friday, June 13th. They're going to be doing a tribute to Clyde Stubblefield. You know Clyde Stubblefield, right?
Sure.
Drummer for James Brown. He's the most sampled drummer in all of history, and he really deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And there's a movie that's being made about him called Give the Drummer Some, and they're trying to get him into the Hall of Fame. He's got sticks there, but they want his bust there. And DJ Trevor Banks is going to be filling in at that show to open it up, and he's the director of the movie, and Joey Banks is his dad. If you don't know who Joey Banks is, he's in about every band you can think of in Madison that's like funky, or but he's in Steely Dan would probably be the most.
Yeah.
But he's also in the Funky JBs, and the Funky JBs plays music from Clyde Stubblefield and the James Brown, and also the songs that Clyde used to love to play, some of the covers. So it's a really good show. Mama Dig Down's brass band, Rare Element, VO5, tons of stuff happening there. And that's coming up Friday, June 13th, so right around the corner. There's more information at www.atwoodmusichall.com. I brought in here a little James Brown. How about some Sex Machine?
Oh, yeah, sweet.
Get on up, get up, get on up, get up, get on up, stay on the scene, get on up like a sex machine, get on up, get up, get on up, stay on the scene, get on up like a sex machine, get on up. Wait a minute, shake your arm, then use your palm, stay on the scene like a sex machine. You got to have the feeling, sure you're born. Get it together, right on, right on. Get up, get on up, get up, get on up, get up, get on up.
I love that. That's a great way to go out on a Friday, Rocker. Terry was telling us about that Clyde Stubble project, too. That sounds so cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the film, and I hope he makes the funds. There's a seed starter out there to help him fund the movie. So please, Clyde Stubblefield, he was just an awesome resident here in Madison.
That's
we
so
all loved
cool.
him.
We've got about 45 seconds to a minute left. Any closing info you want to get out there, buddy?
Max Inc. Radio, 6 p.m. to midnight on Saturdays. Repeat on Sundays. Find us at civicmedia.us/Max Inc. Radio.
I love it. Awesome, buddy. Is Terry back next week, or do we get you again?
No, I believe she's back. I think
Okay.
she'll be back. Maybe reluctantly, but I believe she'll be back.
Have a great show tomorrow night, buddy, and thank you again. Always fun to connect.
Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it.
All right. That's Rocker. Go check him throwing out the first pitch. How cool is that, Conrad? You ever think he'd throw out a first pitch?
I really want to.
Maybe you should go run and knock Rocker over. Pull a Tanya Harding and steal Rocker's thunder.
No, I couldn't do that.
That would be a terrible thing to do. Tom from New Berlin says, Pete, you're the best. Conrad, tea time tomorrow is 9. It cost $1.250.
So is
who's bringing the donuts though?
You know, I'll bring the Long Johns.
All right.
You bring the clubs. I'm not going to bring my set.
I'd be willing to bet Tom in the 414 is a good golfer. Thank you, everybody, tonight. Thank you to Rocker. Rocker's awesome. Have a great show tomorrow night. Check out Max Inc. Radio tomorrow night. Thank you to Mark Unger and Mike Clemens. Thank you to Conrad, the lovable producer. I'm Pete Schwaba. Have a great weekend, everybody. We're coming back Monday night with Lance Barber. Good night, Wisconsin.